Hi guys, welcome to another episode of East Coast Side by Side. As you can see, today we are working on the AMG. Special thank to today's video sponsor, Madrace GQ magnetic shifter paddles. So this is an update that I've been wanting to do for a little while on the AMG. These guys were nice enough to sponsor the channel and send me a pair of these. So yeah, hope you enjoy. We're gonna do an install video today, so I'll kind of go through step by step kind of how we're gonna do this. Enjoy. All right, official unboxing. What do we got here? Oh man, I can't wait. These must be the flapper paddles. Oh. I know they told me there's two sets. I guess there's one. Whoop. I think I'm gonna go with the small ones. Carbon fiber. Oh, maybe those ones. We'll see. Alright guys, so I did end up choosing the larger paddles. I don't know, this one's closer to OEM. I feel these ones are a little bit bigger, and man, I hope you guys can hear that. I can't wait. It's gonna be so cool. So they did send some spare hardware in case one of these small bolts goes bad and you need to change it. And then I guess they have their own hardware to install on the steering wheel. So it must not be the same as OEM. It must be replacing OEM. So let's move on to the next step. I always like to disconnect the battery. Obviously, I don't want to get an airbag in my face. So here, I'm just going to take out the 10 mil negative battery port. Like that. And then I'm just going to wrap it in a rag here, just so for safety purposes it has no chance to touch the battery terminal. Alright, so as with any electronics on a vehicle, always good to better be safe than sorry. So I'm just gonna hold the brakes for a little while, hit the brake, hit the horn a few times, just to make sure there's no leftover power. And last but not least, turn on the four-way flashers. So as you can see, completely dead. Alright guys, so now we're in the interior. So under the AMG steering wheel, there's a little dab right there. So all I do is push very hard in there until you hear a click. And then as you can see, the airbag came loose. Now I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. That same little dimple. If you guys can see, I'm pushing a little bit harder. There you go. So now that the airbag is out, I should be able to access everything in the back, just like that. I'm just gonna grab a rag and try to not damage my steering wheel while I do this. All right, so next step is to remove this trim piece. So basically, once I remove that, I'll have access to the plugins in the back, so I can take and also have access to the mounting screws that hold the shifter paddles. So yeah, the only thing holding that in is these two torque T20s on both sides. So I'm gonna take these out. I already had them pre-loosened up. All right, I can probably do the rest by hand. Maybe not. There's one. I'll just set them here in my cup holder. And here we go with the second one. There. That one in the cup holder. And then this thing is supposed to just pop off, I guess. Maybe just need a little bit more force. I don't want to break anything. So it took a little bit more motivation than I thought, but with a little bit of extra applied pressure, this thing just popped off. It's kind of just held in there with those two bolts, but it's a very tight fit. Like, it's really tight piece of trim. So with that being out of the way, that little sucker right there is what holds the left side shifter paddle, and same thing for that one right there, holds the right side. So now I'm going to get to work swapping out the old with the new. So one thing that I want to really emphasize is in the owner's manual, and looking at everything here, it says that whatever you do behind the airbag, the wires need to be very well tucked in. So as you can see, that side is still very well tucked in. This side kind of popped out when I pulled hard on this thing. So I'm going to make sure that when I put the new paddles, I'm going to make sure I run the wires at the same spot as that side that didn't change yet. Because the last thing I want is the airbag not to function properly when I need it. So yeah, so enjoy. So both of these were very much not tight. I'm pretty much untightening it by hand right now. But here, just so you can see. So this one is completely loose now. Just a little bit further. And it will be ready for swapping the old for the new. All right, so there goes that Torx T20. Oh, I forgot to mention, these are also Torx T20. So holding the trim are Torx T20, and holding the flappy shifters are Torx T20. And there you go. Now if I pull, this thing should pop right out. There you go. Loosey. Now I just gotta unconnect the wires. Bear with me, I'll need a flathead small screwdriver from what I can see to pull that pin out. So just pushing on that little tab, we got to pull it out. And now that that is out, I can grab the whole OEM paddle assembly, and it should essentially pop out. There you go. With the old. So the previous owner of this car did have some billet extended paddles, so I'm going to keep these. They just don't, if you can hear, they're obviously not the same. They're not magnetic, so there's not the pronounced click that you hear when you shift, which is really what I wanted. Basically the Madrace from my understanding and from everything that I read about, they're basically similar to sim setups. So it's going to make the driving feel a lot more like an actual race car, which I can't wait to experience. All right, so that little clip right there, if you guys can see it, I'm pushing on that way with the long nose, and I'm just pulling slightly towards me. And we should hear a nice little click. There you go. And out goes the second. All right, so getting ready to install the two new Madrace magnetic shifter paddles. One thing they did not mention is to add some Loctite. I will be adding a little bit of Loctite on each of these bolts, just because I would rather not have to fully disassemble my steering wheel again if these go loose over time. All right, so boat new paddles installed. That's what it looks like. And same thing for that side. So I tucked in the wires nice and tight. And now wifey's gonna film while I put this thing back. So again, I forgot to mention, you absolutely cannot unplug the airbag. If you do, you will get an engine light, and we do not want that. So I made sure that the wires are all tucked in where they need to be. Now I'm just gonna put a slight pressure on this, like such. And then I'm just gonna make sure that all the wires are tucked in. And there you go. So trim piece is installed. I'll just show you what it looks like close up. So obviously tucked in the wires in behind there. Made sure that it wasn't impeding inside here, because obviously that's where the back side of the airbag is going to be. And same thing in that far corner there. Wires neatly tucked in the back, not impeding anything. So let's not forget to reinstall the T20 Torx that are holding the trim piece on. I don't want the trim piece to fall off, obviously. Last but not least, the famous reinstallation of the airbag. So if you just want to hold it there, honey. So take the rag off, obviously, make sure everything's good. Don't want this bursting in my face at 160 miles an hour. And then I'm just gonna, and now we're ready for the airbag install. So like I said, make sure everything's well connected in the back. Everything seems good. All the wires are tucked away. Both T20s are tightened. Now I'm just gonna sit it like such, and I'm gonna push. And that's it, folks. All right, time to reconnect the battery, folks. We're all done. I'll just grab my 10 mil. All right. So now we're gonna take this thing, remove that out of the way, and I will put just snug. You don't want to go too tight. And there you have it. Battery all reconnected. Everything ready to rock. Close the hood on this bad boy. Handcrafted by BEUTEL, Mercedes AMG, Germany. Those twin turbos. There's a few leaves where they don't belong. Might as well take those out while I'm here. It is that time of year. As long as there's no mice or critters where they shouldn't be, I'll be a happy man. All right, let's close the hood on this bad boy. And voila. Show you guys the final product. So as you can see, I just wish you could really feel and hear that. Man, if it wasn't raining right now, I'd be taking this thing out for a test drive. I cannot wait.